everybody, we're doing brownies today, and I have two recipes that we're going to do because ordinarily in a regular setting I would have us vote on whether we want fudgy brownies or cakey brownies, but instead I'm going to do both and you can see which one you like, and also we're going to analyze the recipes a little bit and see what ingredients made them have the characteristics they have. Now the reason I have scissors in my hands is because I'm preparing my pans right now, and I wanted you to see how I prepare pans, because that's important. Brownies are prepared in pans like this, and I have already, as you can probably see, taken soft butter and like mashed it against the side and like spread it even in like all the little nooks and crannies, all the little cracks. I've gotten everything set up and greased because I don't want my brownies to stick. Then I'm going to take some parchment paper. I just cut it to what I assume will be the right size, and it's too big. Let me cut that a little bit more. See if this is better. All right, so now I have it in here. I'm just going to press it to the top of the butter and up the sides. This will prevent the brownies from sticking. So I'm going to do another pan, and it's going to be a smaller one because the regular brownie recipe takes an 8x8. So this is an 8x8. This is a 9x13. I'm not going to like scale any recipes down so that the pans are the same. I'm going to prepare this one and I'll get back to you. Please make sure your oven is heated to temperature, especially when you're baking, because these chemical reactions require a certain temperature and require a certain amount of time. So this is the first recipe we're using from The Joy of Baking, which is a website I love. And here are all the ingredients. Now I have them all measured out to save some time in this video. This is called mise en placing. Mise en place means prepare your ingredients ahead of time. Get everything ready, everything in its place. Okay, so she did call for semi-sweet or bittersweet chocolate, which was 50 to 60% cacao. And I have this Ghirardelli 60% cacao. They're like darker. They've got a high concentration of cacao in them. So these are not all that sweet. They're bittersweet, and I've still been, every now and then I'll snack on one, but they're not what you would consider ordinary chocolate chips. Okay, here's the second recipe we're going to do. It's called Cakey Brownies. It is from King Arthur Flour, another excellent source of recipes for you guys to use in case you want. Notice, this recipe doesn't have any chocolate pieces. It's got all cocoa as part of its chocolatiness. I'm going to start with Stephanie Jaworski's Brownies. And she involves a double boiler, which is really fancy for our first recipe, but I'll just show you what it is. Basically, we take a pot of water and a heat-safe bowl that doesn't fit into the pot, but fits onto the pot. And this water, it's not that full. I would say it's only about this full. And we're gonna wait for this to boil. Place my bowl of chocolate over the water. Guys, if melted chocolate touches water, it seizes up, it ruins it. So you have to be very careful not to get any water inside this bowl. I'm gonna take my butter and melt it with the chocolate. If you're using cold butter, make sure it's cut up. I'm using room temperature butter, so it shouldn't need to be cut up that much. And then I'm going to very gently stir this. Now the idea behind this is that the steam is evenly heating the underside of the bowl, preventing chocolate from burning or getting singed. Be very, very careful as you're doing this. Watch where the steam is coming out and try to avoid that area. Keep the chocolate moving, keep the butter moving, get everything nice and melted together. I'm turning my burner off now. I think that's all I needed. Can you guys see inside here? Look at how glossy it looks. If you feel any chocolate chips bumping around, keep stirring. It should be smooth and all melted. So there is still some steam coming under the bowl, but I don't have the heat killing this. I'm not blasting it. Now here's the thing about brownie recipes. They're pretty much all one bowl. You don't really need a mixer, and you can throw the ingredients into a single bowl, mix it, and that's it. So I'm going to keep going through this recipe. Stir in the cocoa powder and sugar. So I just want you to see how to stir things with a rubber bowl scraper. Look at how the bottom of the rubber bowl scraper matches the bowl. Your two moves should be, this is one, where you scrape down. See that? That's a good way to use a rubber bowl scraper. Another way is the around and through. So I'm gonna go around and through. You see how it's almost like a squeegee? It's like a windshield wiper. It's like a windshield wiper for your bowl. So make sure you're constantly scraping down the sides because those ingredients are necessary. You need those. Cocoa powder, sugar, look, around and in the middle. Around and in the middle. A little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, next, the eggs one at a time, beating well after each addition. How do you crack an egg? Hold it in, like, make this the seat of your egg. You're gonna tap it on the edge of a table. I usually go to like calibrating taps that like help me see where the table is, and then I go whack, okay? But you know, be careful, don't get egg everywhere. If this is the first time that you're ever cracking eggs, like, you know, it'll take some practice. I'm gonna be cracking the eggs into a separate bowl, just in case I get any eggshells in the egg itself, then I can pick them out. Okay, here we go. So I do tap, tap, whack. There we go. I wanted a bigger thing. So you see that there? I'm gonna take my thumbs and open the egg up into the bowl. Cracks the fingers, tap, tap, whack. Thumbs, open up. Tap, tap, whack. Thumbs, one at a time. Okay, another egg. Last egg. Okay, these go in, the salt and the espresso powder, and then the flour. Be very slow with this step. You don't want to get flour everywhere. Just gonna lightly, this is called folding. Taking your spatula and just folding it over like you're turning a sheet over or something, or a shirt. So we're just gonna fold it in for now, like lightly mix. Just try not to get flour all over your kitchen. And there we have it. Stephanie Jaworski's brownie recipe is totally complete. I have no hint of flour lumps or anything like that in here. You don't want to overmix, but you don't want to undermix either. You want to get it just fully mixed, and then you can stop. Use my spatula, my rubber bowl scraper, and then I'm going to lightly push my batter into the corners. When you're baking things, always try to make sure that your stuff is toward the center of the oven. You might even, before you turn your oven on, check the height of the racks inside your oven and move them so that you have one that's like in the center that you can put your baked goods on. Okay, so our timer went off. I'm gonna shut the timer off but leave the oven on. And there are our brownies. Luckily they've baked, so we know we did at least something right. I'm going to take a tester, which is basically a toothpick, very carefully. Guys, parts of the oven that can burn you. That. Pretty much everything. Don't touch anything. Reach in with my toothpick. Whoa, came out clean. It might be too clean. I hope I didn't burn them. Well, anyway, there they are. Okay, so these are getting to the point where I can touch the top of them. So what I'm going to do is actually flip them over. Just flipped it out of the pan. There's the pan. I didn't show this part, but I peeled off the parchment paper. And whoops, I accidentally broke the brownie, but we can look inside now. Very decent. Some people like them fudgier than this. We could have baked them for less time. I'm going to take a little bite. well, I'll take a bite later. That was brownie recipe 1. Let's work on brownie recipe 2. The butter needs to be melted. I'm gonna pop that in the microwave for like 30 seconds or so. Don't go crazy with microwaving your butter. If you microwave it too long, it'll spatter all over the inside of your microwave. You'll be so upset. Go 30 seconds at a time until it is melted, stirring in between. I'm gonna mix that in with the sugar. Since this recipe has a lot more ingredients, I'm going to use a wooden spoon, just because it's tougher. Okay, next, cocoa, salt, baking powder, vanilla, espresso powder. Okay, so that's all 3 of these. And the cocoa, and the vanilla. Be careful not to get this everywhere. Take your time and use the folding method I talked about earlier. Now add the water. Be very careful. The water will go everywhere. Okay, and then our last step is to add the flour. Again, go slowly and fold, okay? Then once the flour gets wet, you can stir a little faster. The cakey brownies, King Arthur flour, completely done. Cakey brownies are coming out of the oven very shortly. Whoa, they are gigantic. I'm going to take my toothpick and use the other side. Again, be careful. You can burn yourself royally with an oven. Okay, let's see if it's done. These are a lot deeper than the other ones. Nope. But they're getting there. I'm going to put them in for another 2 minutes. All right, guys, I'm turning off the oven now. These are the King Arthur cakey brownies. You can notice that they're a little bit browner on the outside, and that's just, you know, the nature of the way things bake. They bake from the outside in, and so the outside is the first to get done. The inside was the last to get done, and I'm going to leave that alone, but it might actually be, I hope it's actually cooked. Do you see how it's leaving an indentation there? Still, I don't want our brownies to be dry, so I'm going to leave them alone, especially because these edges seem to be done. This is actually a really big judgment call for most bakers to decide when things are done. If you watch Great British Baking Show or any of the shows where people are baking, that's the hard part, is figuring out when they're done. Yeah, it's fine. Here we go. I've got the 2 brownie recipes right here. This one is from the Stephanie Jaworski brownie recipe, and it's the one where we melted the chocolate with the butter. This one is the King Arthur flour one. I will say that I'm a personal fan of cakey brownies, so I prefer this one. Do you see how much thicker they are? Let me show you. There's actually quite a number of differences, significant differences in these 2 brownies. So, there we go. Can I just say, I feel so, well, anyway. Okay, look at this. This is King Arthur flour. It is light and airy and cakey. I've used the King Arthur flour recipe to make like layered desserts. Like I'll cut this into like pieces and then like put whipped cream and then more brownie pieces and then chocolate pudding and then more whipped cream and then, you know what I mean? Like those layered desserts, this goes really well because it's like a thicker cake. That's my favorite one. Now let's go to the Stephanie Jaworski one. This one has a harder top. Can you hear that? And inside it's denser. It's got like kind of, it's almost, I guess, a little bit fudgy. And when I try to squeeze it, it squeezes, but it also kind of breaks apart. Okay? Here I am in the classroom by myself eating brownies. I need to get rid of the rest of these right away because you can't just eat brownies the whole day. That's not good. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.